as young as his spinal column, according to Joseph Pilates, and I agree with him. Joseph Pilates, the founder of Pilates, lived from 1883 to 1967, and he really believed in your ability to move the spine in a healthy and efficient way would help to keep you young. Joseph Pilates once said, if your spine is stiff at 30, then you are old, and if your spine is flexible at 60, then you are young. This exercise, the roll-up, can be very challenging, but there's lots of different options and different variations you can do. The main thing we really want to think about is breathing, moving slowly with control, activating through the core or the powerhouse, as Joseph Pilates called it, and articulating the movement through the spine. When we articulate the movement through the spine, we want to move the spine one vertebra at a time, which can be very tricky. When we're tight, we tend to move in chunks of the spine. We'll move like 4 or 5 vertebrae at once. We gotta fall down or use momentum to lift up. Instead, we want to articulate through the spine one vertebra at a time. I like to imagine the spine being like a string of pearls. When we roll up, we're pulling one pearl up at a time. When we're rolling down, think about like imprinting each pearl down into wet sand from the tailbone all the way up to the very top of your spine. The roll-up is traditionally started down on your back. You can do it with the knees bent, soles of the feet on the floor, and then when you roll up and down, use your hands on the backs of your thighs to help support you a little bit here if you'd like. If you're doing the legs straight, one breath pattern that you can do is an inhale as you lengthen here. Exhale, curl the belly in to roll up very slowly with control. Stretch all the way forward. Keep your spine rounded and inhale as you go back about halfway. Keep drawing the belly in, tailbone forward, and then exhale as you roll down slowly, bit by bit, taking your time, moving with awareness and mindfulness. You can also start in seated if you'd like. Inhale to lengthen, exhale as you roll down. You can be bent or straight. Straight will be more challenging. Inhale as you lengthen, and exhale as you come back up. Maybe using the hands on the backs of the thighs, or keeping the arms long. You can also do this with a twist. You can twist to one side, roll down slowly, and then when you come up, you can stay to that same side, or you can circle around and come back up the other side. All the same principles apply. The regular roll up of the lengthening of the spine, the activation of the core. We're just twisting a little bit, which will get it into the obliques a little bit more. Another thing that could be really great to do is notice where you're weak. So as you roll down, there's usually a place where we kind of lose control and flop back. That's the weakest part of our core. In addition, when we come up, there's usually this place where we kind of get stuck. I'm stuck. I need to use momentum to get my way up. Those two areas, usually the same area, is the weakest part of your core. A great exercise to do is to hold where you're the weakest. Breathe there. Maybe even do a couple little pulses. So, for example, as I roll down, right about there, it becomes hard for me, so I can hold here and breathe. I can also hold here and breathe, and every exhale, think about pulling the belly in. I could do some 100s type breaths. I can also do little tiny pulses, not a lot, just moving a millimeter, just working on building up the strength in that place where I'm weakest. And then when I continue the movement, stay strong, don't lose it, and go all the way back down. In those areas where you get stuck, you can use momentum. Where you're getting stuck is either the weakest part of your core, and also, or it could be you don't have as much flexibility in the spine. So it could actually mean that you need to work on stretching the muscles around the spine a little bit more. And then, of course, the third aspect that could be missing is our awareness of it, or education of it. Understanding that we're supposed to be moving that way. It could be that we don't have the body awareness yet to move the spine in that way. But that little exercise could be really great to help increase that awareness, that education, proprioception element, to build the strength, and also to work on the mobility a little bit in those places where you get stuck. Also Also, when you get stuck, be sure to use the breath more, especially on that lift up. If you really focus on the exhale, it's going to help you. Wherever you kind of get stuck on that lift, say you kind of get stuck right here, try to really think about exhaling and pulling that belly in. You do a strong exhale through the mouth. What's it going to do? It's going to activate the TA, the transverse abdominis, a little bit more, which is going to give you a little more oomph. Now, if you don't have that strength there, of course, that's not going to work. We have to build up the strength slowly. And if that's the case, then maybe we need to pull back a little bit on the exercise that we're doing, or the version of the exercise that we're doing, until we can do a more modified version with more control, focus,